You will need some of the SRT or the Tronix rig springs for this one. You want to cut off about a metre of this 50-pound rig line. Tie on the rig clip and trim it not too close. Cut a little point on the line. Then you want to thread on a bead, a crimp. Oh, come on, butterfingers. And then you want a hook clip like this one here. I think this is a Gemini one, but it's basically got like a neoprene rubber cover on it, which you either cut or it comes with it. It's quite tight on there. Get that one off. Yeah, so if you actually look at this, it's got two holes, one hole there and then another hole where the actual clip bit is, and you just thread that through both the holes. Might need glasses, I think. Yeah, there we go. Let's speed it up. And then you put the neoprene cover thing on. Leave it loose for now, and then you want to take one of those. I lick my finger, put it on, and then follow a crimp down there as well. And that's your assembly for the bottom part of the rig. It needs to have a little bit of flexibility there. You're not going to crimp that. Just make sure you got everything on in that order. And when you're happy you got everything on, you're going to crimp it on both sides. I put a bead in there because sometimes those crimps can eat away a little bit of that bottom knot where the weight is. And then we're going to use some of our old friend, the power gum. You're going to do 5 loops up, 5 loops back, and give it a trim. I'll speed that up, but if you want to see that knot, we do have a link after the video. You can check that out if you haven't done that one before. I know there's a few of you that follow these videos now, so I'm going to speed things up a little bit in today's video. Next up is a bead, and then one of those springs. Just adjust the light a little bit here. Let's see that a bit better. And then put the spring on. That's why it's handy if you've got a little point on there. So you should have stop knot, bead, spring, and then another bead, and then do another stop knot with the power gum. You're going to adjust this later, and then just tie that off for now. And the way we're doing this rig today, you don't want anything to drop off. Now we're going to do the snood line. I used slightly heavier 30-pound line here. So thread that onto the hook. Again, if you want to see that knot, we've got other videos, but I know some of you know how to do that now. Snip it off and take a sequin. This is for the bait stop. So this is to stop the lugworm coming up the hook. And then once again, one of those knots with the power gum, and start threading those beads on. 25 either side of a swivel. So you're doing 25 beads after that sequin, swivels in the middle there, and then there's another 25 the other side. Just makes the weight a little bit easier. That makes the rig a little bit neater. So don't forget the swivel in the middle of those beads there. And then of course on the other end, we're going to do the same. Just put a sequin on there, and then you tie a stop knot on that as well, and then on the end that hook like that. And not forgetting the power gum again. And that's all adjustable, so depending how much bait you're putting on, you might want, 2 or 3 lugworm on there. That's the way to do it. And I use a little bit of a tag on the power gum there, just sort of helps a little bit holding that lugworm in place. So as I say, you want to take the 2 beads either side of that swivel. You should have equal beads either side of that and back to the power gum again. Should get a lot quicker at doing power gum after all these. Here we go. Speed it up a little bit. And we're in. Give it a snip. There we go. And that can be, pushed up nice and tight like that. Okay, so that's basically your sort of wishbone element to the rig. And go back to the main body of the line that we've tied earlier. Undo that loop. And remember we had a stop knot, the bead, spring, and then the bead. I'm just going to thread the snoods, those double snoods, wishbone snoods, onto the top of the spring, and then a bead on the other end of that. Once again, another bit of power gum, 5 turns up and 5 turns back. Snip it off. Lovely. Okay, so back to this top end of the line. This is the swivel that will go onto your main line, and there you have it. That's the completed rig. It's quite tight. I've sort of made it a little bit shorter so it'll fit in this frame here, but you've got 2 hooks that clip on, and then when you cast, those will release. They stay quite close to the main line. The idea is if a fish takes it, it will draw the power gum down towards the weight, and it will give you less of a chance of snagging. And hopefully the idea is with this, because it's not a long flowing rig which you'd normally do with the plaice fishing, it will sit on the bottom and hopefully avoid those whiting and give the plaice a chance in winter. But there are plaice around this winter, and I just don't think people get them because of the whiting will get there first. So this might give you a chance to pick up a plaice in clearer water when the and then stop the whiting getting the bait. Anyway, let us know how you get on with this rig.